Hello, everyone, and welcome into this super special episode. I cannot believe what an honor and a privilege to bring a true expert onto my channel. This is Ron from Dreaming Down Under. He owns an opal mine and is going to tell you a little bit more information about himself, what he's done for work, how he constructs these amazing opal pieces. I have now purchased 2 items from you, and I need a third because that's a true collection. Ron, explain a little bit about yourself, and I appreciate your time today.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. I have such a great passion for what I do. It's more like it's not a hobby or anything for the money. It's just a true love of opal. I started off right out of high school. I was a engineer for the aerospace industry. I worked on, when we went to the moon the first time, I worked on a number of the projects. In fact, I have a piece of material out sitting on the moon that I helped work on. After retiring, I got educated on opal, and I started cutting a few just as a hobby, and it became such a passion and grew on me. I just kept going and going. And then in 2004, I went ahead and purchased the mine. It was a mine that approximately 400 miles in the outback. It's very remote, desolate. There's nothing around, but it's got incredible opal. So I've been mining since 2004, and then I do all the cutting of the stones, mainly because I see things in the stones that I want to try to bring out and show people what an incredible thing that Mother Nature creates. So I brought a few examples here that you probably will never see again in your life, or if you do, it would be an honor.
Right. This is a big deal. And one of the pieces that I purchased from him is this incredible opal and 18 karat gold pendant. And you're going to want to stay tuned, because when we talk about some of the finest opal in the world, look at that stone, how incredible. It's contour cut, correct?
Yes, so it's all done by your grandma.
So he hand cut that with contour cutting, and look at that internal flash, and look at the color dispersion. These are just the finest, I think, in my 35 years of very limited consumption in antiques and vintage. When I see opal, I don't normally see it like this. And so I don't invest in contemporary art for the most part, but these, I bent the rules because they speak volumes of an Art Nouveau sensitivity, that sensitivity of craft and design. And then look how he furthers that with these incredible stones, amethyst and diamonds and citrine. It so brings out the color in that. Exactly. And the craft and the work is just incredible. And of course, I was so seduced by the color. Please show them. Can I show them this one?
Absolutely.
All right, so tell them about this one.
This one here, 100 million years ago, was actually alive. That's opalized wood. I've got a lot of dinosaur bones, things like that, but this is a piece of opalized wood. If you look at the color real close, you can see the actual veins of the wood inside the opal.
Yep, the cellular construction there.
So that's considered one of the finest pieces of opalized wood I've ever seen in 25 years. So
look at that color when I tip it. That just, and you know what I loved the other day is when I smiled when I saw your thing. I looked at you, and you weren't upselling me on it. You let me make that choice for my collection, but you seeing joy on my face brought you a smile, and you were thrilled.
Yep,
you were thrilled.
absolutely.
And for all the famous people that you've worked with and worked for on commissions, me just being a normal human, you were just so, I don't know, there was an instant friendship and an instant bond.
I will tell you this, yes, there's money involved, but the real love is to say, I have a piece of the earth that God created, and I'm the one that's holding it.
Absolutely. And then this is 18 karat gold
18 karat
and diamonds.
gold and diamonds.
Yep, absolutely incredible. And you know that opal gets so sensitive with light and camera, and sometimes doesn't tell its full story. Your speech
What you see
volumes.
right now, when it hangs it, put out there, you can take it outside and turn it just a little bit, and you'd have
It'd be a whole different thing. But I hope you're all understanding that. Now, can you tell them what would be the rarest color of opal, and then can you talk about maybe one of the rarest patterns inside the stone?
Yes. Well, red is considered the rarest color in most every stone. That's just kind of the standard through the industry. But red in an opal will take it from this level up to this level overnight. I mean, that's what everybody looks for. But then we're spending a lot more money. But if you're going to have and you want the best, that's what you want to look for.
Absolutely, thank you for that. And your mine in Australia is 15 acres?
It's approximately 15 acres. In Australia, it's in hectares. So to convert that over, it's approximately 15 acres.
Okay.
But it's more than you could mine in a lifetime, you know. And it's producing some incredible stuff. Unfortunately, in the business, you could be mining along and the opal could just stop. And it might be over there 50 feet or up there 50 feet. So as long as you got that vein and you're following it, you're in good stuff.
Yep. And the one that I really want to share, because you know how I love antiques, I already brought in 3 pieces out of my collection to show you. He helped me identify 3 of my antique pieces that I wanted to bring on a video, but I wasn't sure exactly the origin or the quality of the stones. And he, as the expert, looked at them right away and said, this is exactly what they are.
Yeah.
And the pendant was, what
Lambina.
Lambina.
Which is now closed. I mean, there's people out there, but
Right.
you're not getting the stuff out of it.
He said it was basically mined out. So the one from 1903, can I touch it? Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
That is an opalized pineapple. That's what they call it. It's actually just a specimen of another stone, and through the process of pseudomorph, the silica, the water ran in, covered it up, and turned it to opal.
Yep.
This is 3,500 carats,
Okay.
and they refer to them as an opalized pineapple.
I can't believe I'm able to hold this. I'm just so excited. You made my day. It's like a little kid on Christmas. I cannot believe you allowed me to pick that up. And look at the color running through there.
Absolutely.
And he acquired this, and you said it was initially found in 1903. 1903 that was
actually
found.
was mined by a gentleman who was a sheep herder.
Okay.
He would take his sheep out. The story is that he'd take his sheep out, get them settled, and then with a pick and shovel, he'd go start digging.
Okay.
And he found this. The agreement was that he would keep it in his family till his grandchildren could have it.
Okay.
And then I was able to purchase it through the museum. It's their stuff, but I purchased it.
Amazing. And because I don't want to keep him too long because the show is officially over in just a few minutes and I know you have to pack up, I will say again how grateful I am to have met you, how grateful I am for this time on camera, and eventually what I'd like to do is possibly do a side-by-side interview of some sort. So I would send you a link and then you could go camera
Absolutely.
up, I'd be camera up, and we could answer questions
And
for
I
the
could
viewers.
bring in some unique pieces, like
Absolutely.
opal dinosaur bones and
I know.
opalized squid, things
Right,
like that.
and your clamshells. And
Clamshells.
clamshells that are opalized. Also, where can they find you specifically online, or how can they purchase from you?
Under Dreaming Down Under on the internet, or my name, Ron Wooley, Wooley. I'm on all the different internets, you know, I mean, like Facebook and
Yep.
Instagram and everything.
Yep, so Dreaming Down Under and Ron Wooley.
Yep.
So definitely mark that down because you're going to want to be in touch. His cases at this show, if I had a moment to go through them and show you some of the pieces that I've seen, you will not believe some of the treasures that he has. And since it's mine direct, obviously he has the great advantage of finding these pieces, looking into the rough stone and seeing that beauty that he can capture, knowing how to cut it after all these decades, you know? So may I touch the big one? Is that okay?
You're welcome to.
Are you sure? Do you trust me?
For him, I'll say yes.
So can you tell them that it's what it's worth?
This is called a Karoit nut. It has been on 2 world tours and in the National Museum. The Australian Opal Society gave it a name. It's called the peacock, and this is it.
And here we go. So can you tell them the value again, just so I feel really special?
I have been offered $250,000.
So in my hand is $250,000.
Yes.
I think that's a first. And the room went
But
silent.
don't think about running because I've got my boomerang.
You told me that earlier. Look at this stone, everyone. I mean, what an absolute joy. And explain this again for them so they understand what we're looking at.
Well, it's called a Croit nut. The reason for that is if you were to cut it open, there's a possibility, even though the odds are very small, that the center would have a heart of pure opal. If that were to happen, then you would probably double the price.
Okay.
But this is too nice to ever cut open, so I will leave it like it is. The pattern in it, a lot of people have asked me, how does that form? No one really knows exactly, but a general idea that this was in a swamp or a bog, and all the vegetation got pushed over, covered up with dirt, and then as the vegetation would die and decompose, it would leave all these little lines in there. So when the silica, which was in a liquid solution, ran in, it just filled in all those little holes. Now, whether that is the way it is, who knows?
I have got to say that is one of the most beautiful stones I've ever seen.
Thank you.
And not just based on value, but based on rarity and the fact that when we talk about elevating a collection, there's gentlemen like this in the world that deal with investors and very wealthy but very kind people. And I will tell you, that is an honor to be able to touch that. That was just incredible. I don't know what else you want to talk about. If there's anything else that you want to talk about.
Something that a lot of people ask me about opal, and I think one of the most, really a sacred story that was given to me by a lot of good friends of mine who are Aboriginal, that their legend is that in the beginning of time, that the rainbow serpent, which is the snake, came out of heaven in this rainbow. And he lived amongst men for many, many years and taught them when they can live in harmony with the earth, with all other people, and things like that. He would come back and give them more information. And the next morning when they got up, where the rainbow had touched the top of this little hill, it glistened with colors. So when they went up, that's where they found opal, and that's the birth of opal. So most of the, at least of the older elders, that will carry an opal with them, it's symbolic of good luck, good fortune, good health, things like that.
That's amazing.
And, when you see like that, a stone like the one you just showed them, that's about as Aboriginal as you
Absolutely. And look at, it's a pebble form. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Is that it's just a simple pebble form and yet so incredibly beautiful. The color dispersion, the pattern. I mean, I hope the camera picked up part of the beauty, but there's electric lavender, electric blue, a very pure like turquoise green. I mean, that is just incredible.
And the slightest turn, you can have a whole different color.
Correct. Then I see orange across the surface. I see fluorescent reddish pink.
Do you see the head?
I do, now that you pointed it out. Oh, I do. Interesting. Interesting that you point that out. Incredible what nature will do for us. And what friendship will do for us as well.
Absolutely.
So in summation, I would say that this has been an incredible opportunity. I did not show the other pendant that I had purchased, but I will show that eventually because you will not believe the first one that I purchased from you. What an honor. This was the second one.
he actually got two of my, probably I would consider top hits.
Thank you. I love them. And then could you explain too, so they know, care for an opal, like you explained to me?
A lot of people, there's been a lot of old stories, old wives' stories about putting them in baby oil or putting oil on them. Actually, the viscosity of the oil is too thick to be absorbed in the stone, so you just got a greasy opal.
Yes.
The best thing for an opal and pearls is to put them in a glass of tap water overnight, 1-2 times a year, wherever you live. If there's a lot of humidity, you don't have to worry about it. But it's the best thing is what to do to take care of that. So just simple old tap water.
That's very helpful.
That's all you need to know.
And also, do not keep them in a plastic bag or in a safe.
No.
They like to breathe.
If you put them in a safe, put a glass or a bottle of water in there, open, so it'll give it some humidity and give it some moisture in there. Because they will actually gain weight with the moisture.
Yes, that's incredible. So thank you for that. Is there anything else you want to share before we call it?
Other than to say, good day, mates. You're welcome to come down to my part of the world anytime.
He's the most kind and genuine.
Bring a big suitcase because you won't want to leave.
It's totally true. He's already invited me, and I think I'm in trouble.
Yes, he is.
I think I'm in really big trouble. I'm probably going to leave with no money.
What do you mean? You got more money?
Well, you do a little bit, a little bit. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for your
And
kindness.
thank you all to you.
Everyone out there, thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna help him get packed up and get out of here on time. Again, it's been an absolute joy, a total pleasure. So, thank you all so much for joining in. Please stay tuned for the future video on the pendant that you so graciously sold me. And again, everyone, signing off from Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, from the Media Brothers Gem Show. Thank you so much. Love you because I do.